So our final game for this group, just before we get into the game, there is going to be a show. They're going to show you the map Zodiac and how to get to the bases. So you can see there's 4 main bases on this map that they're showing you now, and there's an expansion right at the bottom of the ramp for each base. So they're just showing you, the potential third expansion, different attack routes, and how to get to different bases. There is an island base near the 3 o'clock and the 9 o'clock. You can see below the 3 and above the 9. And this map there is a better chance for a turn to win than a Zerg. You can see it's 90 for TVZ, so this is definitely playing in Mind's favor. We will see if he's able to get revenge for that first game he played and lost against NSP Zerg and Katarina. Now with that said, let's try and get the game started. I'm just going to forward a bit. So our first player, Mind. So he has to basically win this, otherwise it would be extremely odd for him to have lost out of the first round, considering he is the champion of the last MSL Season 3 for GomTV. We have NSP Zerg, our Zerg, and on the map is Zodiac, fighting. So we have Mind in the top, sprung at 12 o'clock, and we have our Zerg, NSP Zerg, sprung at blue in the bottom. So it'd be interesting to see what strategy to do on this map. More than likely just the usual 12 has versus Rax FE, like the fast expanse after the Rax. But from there on, it'll be interesting to see. It's more likely still going to be the bio, but we'll see if someone takes advantage of the iron bases, for example, and the different expansion routes that either players can take. One thing to do that should be mentioned as things dial up here is that if Mind ends up getting tank, he can siege NSP Zerg's base from the expansion just right adjacent to his main. So that's something that's pretty strong about this map, basically. So we'll see if he maybe tanks later on in the late game, especially since it's popular these days in those days. So NSP Zerg is not going to be scouting he's not going to be scouting Mind first, but he's going for Pro first, and he's getting the gas. No, it looks like it was just to get that extra drone. So it looks like in this case a 9 pool, if I'm not mistaken. And you can see the Rax coming in for Mind as well. And he's actually scanning right away, so he's looking to actually put on quite a bit of aggression to start things off, basically. And so it looks like they both might scout each other. It looks like Mind is going to scout him first, and NSP Zerg is going to be scouting that's a pretty interesting scout pattern. So he's going to be, so yeah. So it looks like Mind might be scouting NSP Zerg first. NSP Zerg is going for the hatchery after the pool, and the first 6 Zerglings are out. So we'll see what Mind's defense is like. So Mind is going to be scouting these Zerglings just very closely, though. He's just going to barely see them. So he knows what's coming now. He's probably going to be pulling some workers shortly, because he only has the single marine. He probably needs another, I would say another worker, at least 3 to 4. He should have another marine ready. The third one won't be popping out just yet, though. He's going to have to defend with those 2. And NSP Zerg is just probably droning up in the meantime. I don't believe he's going to do much damage with this, because Mind is ready. And he's lucky he doesn't anticipate doing damage, so he's more likely he's going to drone up behind it. But this should put enough pressure and delay any chance of any CC on the low ground. So you can see he's not even going to try and push up this ramp. He doesn't want to lose those Zerglings, because they give him a little bit of potential for aggression. So CC coming in for Mind. And the 4th Marine is out, so he's in pretty safe spot now. The 3 hatch coming in, probably the gas soon enough for NSP Zerg as well just to move up to layer. So with this map there is quite a bit of space behind the minerals, which is not too bad so mine can at least walk behind, get his marines behind to defend against meter harass. But he does get a full read of NSP Zerg's base, so he knows that the layer is not there yet, that he's mostly droning up. But there is still quite a bit of Zerg on the map, so mine has to play it safe. He can't just venture out just yet. If he loses those marines, this game is over, basically. It's going to be over in a flash. What he might end up doing is just get a bunker up, just to be safe from the aggression and get the CC down, and then ferry his workers over. So it looks like mine is aware that his SCP is going to die soon. So he's going to try and see if he can get another one in there, basically, into the main base. It'll be interesting to see, so there is no ramp block base. So he's just going to walk out with this, maybe potentially save it. So you can see this is fantastic. Oh, but the SCP is going to get potentially intercepted by the Zergans as well. So Lair should be coming in soon. Unless he's went for speed first. So we'll see. Yeah. And then SCP ends up getting saved, basically. You can see even the commentators are pretty entertained. So Academy is already in, the comp set's on the way, 3 racks, and the +1s is going on for the attack. So what I would like to see is the expansion of NSP Zerg, just to find out, to see when the layer has started, if it has already. And yeah, I can see layer is actually already done and the Spire's on the way. So Stim is already underway. There is a bit of a push, but not so much of a push, more of a prod at this point. Might just trying to clear out a couple of Zerglings. He wants to put on a bit of aggression, but he doesn't want to push too much because he also doesn't know if NSP Zerg made a lot of Zerglings or if he's specifically banking out for mirrors at this point. Although I'm pretty sure he must have seen the Spire, at least got a whiff of it. So Spire's almost done. We're going to see turrets from mine probably the next half a minute or so. So the muters are coming in, basically. We see also likely either the hydrogen probably going down near in the main, and the turrets are coming in as well. So the turrets will be on time for sure.
이거 잘 잡아먹어야 되거든요. 뮤탈 손실 최대한 줄이면서 컨트롤 쪽에서 잘 잡아먹어야 됩니다. 괜히 이거 잡아먹다가 뮤탈이
So looks like so NSP String is actually taking his 3rd base there. Doesn't look like mine is scouted with the SCV. Otherwise he may have potentially pushed towards that direction. But mirrors are out, so he has to play it safe as well. He can't lose this army. Would you see the Hydra Den there as well? So the lurker aspect is definitely on the way, being researched right now. I would love to see if there's an Evo as well, but it's more than likely NSP Zerg just wants to establish that 4th base and get that third base and establish that 3rd gas as well. And lurkers on the ramp also do a great job. So Mirror Mark is not too bad, gets a couple of marines, pushing them back as well, but he should be careful as well. The Marines should probably have the +1 soon, if not already.
피해가 있었던 모양입니다. 그래서 지금 박성균 선수가 다시 한번 몸집을 분리해.
Yeah, so they have +1 already. He gets a nice pickup for the fire bats, and those are extremely important for deflecting any Zerg. And it looks like Mine knows that he's in trouble right now. Or at least he can't be pushing out on the map anymore, because those fire bats were key for any Zerg. He does have quite a bit of M&M and quite a bit of Marines in his main. So the moves aren't going to be, they're going to have to look for another spot, potentially in the back of the minerals. He does have the third established and ferrying drones over, that's great. And once the lurker aspect is done, he gets some lurkers, he'll be able to defend that much better. But you can see there is quite a bit of terrace and room that will help Mine's Marines maneuver around. So he's not in any danger. So there's the bunker going up. And I can see the Evo as well. Okay, so we got the first lurker in, probably the +1 armor, which is the usual. And we got a couple of tanks as well. So it looks like what Mind is going to do is that he's just going to add his second Evo to start his armor upgrades. At least to try and mess up his upgrades. And he's going to back up the tanks. He's going to go for a big push with M&M tanks and, you know, a vessel or two. And try and see if he can stop that third base, basically, because that's key. You don't want them to grab the third gas, because that can set them up to grab the fourth as well.
네, 아까와 같은 경기 운영 필요하죠. 쓸데없이 빈집 들어가는 것보다 충원 병력 끌어주면서 앞에서 잡아먹는 이런 체제. 시간 끌어주면 끌어줄수록 어쨌든.
So he's got 3 tanks, that's not too bad. And the lurkers being outside the bridge will also buy him some time. But keep in mind there is enough of an area for him to spread here as well. So it's not the similar choke as it was on the previous map. But those Marines are actually doing a number. If they can snipe attack, it'll be great, but there is enough Marines there. He basically just wants to buy some time right now just to get his third going. And he's probably getting his hive already. Yeah, it looks like the hive is on the way already. So about 10 minutes or so, 10 and a half. He's getting another hat, so he's going to be putting on even more aggression. But that's fantastic drone saturation at the third base. And Mine feels threatened, but there is quite a bit of tanks basically. So this next engagement is going to be extremely important. If NSP Zerg can keep delaying and you know, sniping that vessel or getting some of the tanks, that's going to extremely delay what's coming up, and that will put things into his advantage, especially with the third gas already mining. But it could also be that Mine might be looking to secure his own third as well at the expansion just right adjacent to his main. We see the den is down, so that's fantastic news for NSP Zerg. He just needs to hold on to get Consume done and get the defilers out. But there is quite a sizable M&M army at his throat. And looks like Mind has managed to sneak an SCV, and he is going to scout that third base. He's going to know what's going on. That's not the greatest news for NSP Zerg, because at least he could have kept Mind in the dark just a little longer. But we do the 6th Rax, the 7th Rax is coming in. And we see the NSP Zerg knows that that base has been scouted, basically. Oh, that's a nice lurker pick-off. So both of them are playing this extremely well, just slowly hopping the tanks and slowly pulling back the lurkers. But it looks like there is a counter going into Mind's base. I feel like this is going to get scouted, and I feel like it's probably he should have waited a little longer. NSP Zerg should have waited until the armor was more across the map. But it looks like Mind believes that he has just enough to keep pushing this, and he may be right. He has quite a bit of tanks. The lurker is going to be dying very quickly between the irradiates and the tank range. He might be going for the surround as well. If he can kill this army, it'll be great, but there is quite a bit of units here, basically. So if he doesn't engage us carefully, he can lose this whole army. And if he does, then Mind will take this game. And it looks like Mind actually sniffs the south, basically. Yeah, this engagement has been going into Mind's favor. So far, he's gonna at least get those 2 tanks, which is great news for NSP Zerg, but I would still favor Mind's position here. Marines are extremely microable, the tanks are quite beefy, you do have the vessels with the D matrix, and there it is, but there is a defiler out, and Kusuma is done, so this is big trouble for NSP Zerg if he's able to land the swarm, and he does get a swarm, so those tanks are going to be history. Essentially, mine has to pull back, but there is lurkers in the backside, so he's going to have to be extremely careful because he's going to end up losing his army. He better scan quickly, otherwise he's going to lose. Okay. Yeah, this is extremely bad for mine at this point. He's going to have to pull back. He's lost more than anticipated at this point, and NSP he's going to be pushing this all the way probably back until mine's expansion. So mine is in a bit of trouble now, and NSP Zerg is taking a fourth behind this as well. Likewise, his third is now exposed. No units just yet, but NSP Zerg is aware of it, and with his force taken, once he gets that fourth gas and gets that base into gear, it's going to be 4 gas Zerg with hive units, which is going to be extremely dangerous. Would you see 1-1 if I'm not mistaken, or is it 1-0 for the Zerg? Well, it's still 2-1 for mine, so at least mine does have a bit of an upgrade advantage. That is a nice dropship, and looks like he's just barely gonna clean that up. So that's a great catch by NSP Zerg. He is in control of the game right now, but I would not call mine out just yet. So that's a nice free lurker. Now this fourth is exposed, so it's quite okay, it looks like this is gonna cause a lift on the CC. He better lift the CC fast. There you go. But so the lurker there will deny the mine for quite a bit. Thankfully, it's only a single lurker and not more. Otherwise, if it was 2, it would be extremely hard to break this without some support. He's going to lose 2 vessels. That's extremely bad, though. This is extremely bad. You can see how much damage the lurker is doing, basically. And it's plus 2 armor as well now. So Craxer is already finished, as we saw earlier. Mind is pushing the front base, but there is enough units here to defend. So what's extremely important now, and Mind is going to scout this, is for NSP Zerg to get that fourth established. And it looks like Mind might be waiting to land his third. So the tanks are down. So NSP Zerg has control of this game. He just needs to muster up a big enough army to destroy the army in the center. So that army that you see there on the map now. But it doesn't look like there's actually much units here, so Mark can actually crack this base easily. NSP Zerg is going to have to move units ASAP and get them set up on the defensive, otherwise he's in trouble. Ultralisk then is coming in, but he's going to have to get those swarms coming in, because that is a sizable Terran army, especially with D Matrix, and he's going to focus down the lurkers first. The swarm comes in just in time, and the lurkers, the Defiler saves the day. A vessel is down, and that's a nice plague as well, but this base is safe for now. So the lurker being saved just at the last minute, that was fantastically done by NSP Zerg. But mine has established his own third base, so this game is not over yet, and he is adding more and more units. So upgrades, looks like, I believe I saw 3-2, if I'm not mistaken, or at least 2-2. So he just still has a bit of an upgrade advantage. And let's take a look and see. There is a free lurker he's going to pick off if NSP Zerg doesn't notice. It looks like he does. Will he snipe another vessel? So his vessel snipes have been extremely great this game, but that's also because mine hasn't been paying as much attention due to the action going around the map. So breaking a 4-base Zerg with Defaz is extremely hard, guys, especially in the late game where so many things are going on. Because as mentioned, a lot of the M&M army, aside from tanks in the late game, is range based. Though there is a great position here, he can actually potentially, yeah, it doesn't look like he's gonna push his luck in this point, but he does have a sizable army, and I don't see any defiler. Okay, there is a defiler there. Okay, so he can actually push this right now if he goes for it. Oh, and there is a drop in the double drop in the third base, and this is gonna do a lot of damage, and he's gonna bust the front at the same time because the army is gonna be diverted all the way to the third base now. So the fourth base is extremely exposed if he can actually move in, but it looks like he's just microing that front. He needs to move in. Okay, Looks like NSP Zerg anticipated this, so that drop could have done much more damage, but it looks like it's safe for now. We did see the 5th base denied for NSP Zerg near the expansion near his base, near his main. We do see the Ultrazik running in, so I can see the Lurker running in from the other side, but you see a triple drop. This is major, and there's no Scourge, and there's no defense here, so this can do major damage. This might actually be the game-ending damage that Mind's looking for to put him back into the game as well, especially. And that's a lot of M&M basically. He's gonna hit. Oh, yeah, this is extremely bad for NSP Zerg. This might be the game blow, game-killing blow basically. Because he's gonna be losing that base. He's the Slasanitis. He's gonna be losing Ultra Zez potentially afterwards, but mine should. Yes, but we do see a counter on the other side. However, there are tanks there. Oh, but there is a swarm, so this base might be forfeit for now, depending on how many areas there are. And that base, that 3rd base, is down for the count. But mine does not seem to be. Seems to be clone. Like, okay, so we actually see this base is still alive. Never mind in that case. The SCVs are getting quite a bit of damage. Wow, that's 10 kills right now. 11 kills. But we should use some mini games in the middle of the map. So I mean, at this point in time, I would definitely favor Mind's position, especially with this bus coming in. That base is going to be forfeit as well, or maybe not. Maybe not. It depends. It's going to be close. It's going to be extremely close. It's going to be extremely close. Oh, and he just barely gets it in the nick of time. So yeah, this is definitely Mind's game at this point in time. Even though he lost some workers at the 3rd base, he's got a bit of map control. He has the 3-base economy. The Zerg is basically only on 3 bases and trying to establish the 4th, and his other hidden base is going to be scouted as well. Plus Mind has the 4th base here, so this is extremely in Mind's favor now, especially once he kills this base here. You're going to have a 4-base Terran, 3 gas versus a 3-base Zerg with 3 gas. Might be 4 gas soon, but there is a bit of time, and he's probably going to catch these drones that are coming in, so it's going to be even more drone kills basically. He even gets this Lurker as well, but so mine is pushing in. Basically, he's got even more map control as well. So this is gonna essentially help him box the Zerg in. And NSP Zerg, as mentioned, he is in trouble now. It looks like mine's gonna push all the way into the actual expansion, and there's no units here. So, and he even gets a defile. So this game is so he's gonna be able to bust that expansion. And you can see you don't want to have this many M&Ms into your base listly in the game. So, and he ends up getting what looks like the Lurker as well, if I'm not mistaken. So that's a nice swarm in the back, but he can still maneuver around it. Okay, so this is a little more troublesome. And you can see just more and more. So those workers are doing great. The Plague was great as well. But you need more units to defend, especially with the medics constantly healing the units, and that defense picked off as well. So yeah, once the Zerg is in your main and has destroyed a lot of your hatcheries and killed your drones and such, this is looking extremely bad for NSP Zerg. So I don't know if he's gonna be able to recover from this. His mind is extremely far ahead. He should pull his best. Oh, and looks like the 4th is now killed. He's killed the 3rd / now 4th again with that drop. Yeah, the NSP doesn't have much of an army. He's trying for one last ditch effort just to stop that 3rd from going up. But keep in mind, mine has the 4th base up. So even if he stops this, he still has another base mining, and he can always float to another base. And obviously, Swarm is time limited. He will still save his expansion in the meantime, but mine has even stopped the mining from his 4th base, basically 3rd / 4th now.
합니다만 지상 쪽은 저가 장악할 수 있었거든요. 박성균 선수가 진짜 이번 경기에서 잘한 거.
So he should be able to clean this up if he gets enough Zergs to get the area, and he will have enough. But this is definitely not looking good for our Zerg player. There is some nice though, that killing a lot of SCVs will definitely at least help him get a bit back into the game. And those workers are all gonna essentially end up dying because there's... Oh, one ends up surviving. So this game is turning to be quite the slugfest basically. So we do see Mind is still on a single base mining. He's mined out his main expansion. NSP Zerg still has the one base and a bit left in his expansion. So I mean, it's not completely game over, but army wise, Mind has the lead big time, and that counts quite a bit now. So, and you don't want to one base tear into one base Zerg. That's just trouble. It's not gonna work out for the Zerg at all, basically. Not at least at these levels. It also looks like Mind has grown out his vessel count, so there's like 6 vessels now. So the army he has is pretty hard to stop as a Zerg player, especially with the lack of units. And this might be the killing blow from Mind. He's moving with quite a sizable army, doing a bit of zoning with the vessels to see if any defilers or altars are going to be coming in from the other bases. Oh, he loses only a single vessel, so that is great. Gets a defiler, and there's another defiler he should be irradiating. Then his other drop is topped as well, but you can see the drone count is extremely low here, and I believe he might have re-established his previous third base as well. Oh, but we see a slow drop. So this is extremely interesting play from NSP Zerg, because that's gonna get all those SCV killed. But the problem is that he can't defend his attack coming in. So even if he manages to kill that base, he's not gonna be able to stop the army coming in. So he's in trouble regardless. And we see the GG coming in. So Mind is our winner for the final match. So it looks like both C and Mind are gonna advance. Both Terrans, our Zergs, were unfortunately eliminated in this group.